You know, there's not much that freaks me out more than a creepy clown. But usually, unless it's the circus or a birthday party, you're safe. Well, not anymore. Throughout this video, we're going to be discussing what happens in it, and I'm kicking things off with a punchy 3-word recap: corn, chaos, and clown. I'll also explore deeper themes, drop some slick flick facts and hidden details along the way, plus my final verdict to help you decide if this movie is a must-watch or a pass. The movie begins in 1991, where a group of teens is partying near the Bapine corn syrup factory. A girl plays with a Ben music box, and when the tune ends, a clown suddenly pops out. A girl smiles at her boyfriend and tells him to follow her into the cornfield. Excited, he goes after her, but quickly loses sight of her. Soon after, he finds his girlfriend again, but she suddenly spits blood and tells him to run before collapsing dead. Terrified, he tries to escape, but he doesn't get far. What the fuck? Fast forward to the present, where a teenage girl named Quinn is in a car with her father, Glenn. They're moving into a new home in Kettle Springs. Their house is located right next to the Bapine corn syrup factory, which already sets a weird vibe. The next morning, Quinn is ready for her first day at school.
Oh, hi.
When she sees a shy boy waiting at her door. He introduces himself as Rust, their neighbor, and asks if she wants to walk with him. She agrees. At school, Quinn is late to class, and the teacher, Mr. Verne, scolds her before telling her to sit down. During the lesson, the students prank him by editing his photo onto a bodybuilder's body. Mr. Verne gets angry and also gives Quinn detention for being late.
If one of these leaves this room, you will all be suspended. I will end you!
After class, Quinn meets Cole's group of friends, Janet, Ronnie, Tucker, and Matt. She's confused about why she got in trouble, so they explain that Mr. Verne is a bitter old man who hates them. Quinn learns that Cole's dad is the mayor of Kettle Springs. Cole's family also owns bait and other companies, so the whole town celebrates a festival called Founders Day.
Around here?
Yeah, Founders Day, right? I keep seeing that. What is that?
During the event, people gather around a giant float of the company's mascot, a clown named Friendo. Cole and his friends explain that they turned Friendo into a scary serial killer character for fun, often dressing up as him to make parody videos. They post these videos on YouTube, where their channel has become very popular, reaching about 65,000 subscribers. Later, Quinn goes to a diner with her dad. Soon after, they meet Sheriff Dunn.
Hey, you must be the new doc, Dr. Mabry.
Yes, sir. Call me Glenn.
Hey, Sheriff Dunn.
Just then, Cole and his friends show up outside, and the sheriff warns Quinn to stay away from them. That night, the group is partying and enjoying themselves. Quinn takes the chance to ask about the fire. Cole admits they had sneaked into the factory to film one of their videos, but insists they didn't start the fire. Officials later said it was caused by faulty wiring, but the timing is suspicious, and no one really believes the group is innocent. But the whole thing turns out to be a prank. The clown is actually Tucker, while Janet was filming it all. Classic flick favorites energy right there. Afterward, Quinn spent some time talking with Cole. He asks about her family, and she explains that her mother died of a drug overdose last summer. Since then, her father, a surgeon, hasn't been able to return to work in the ER. When a position opened up for a family doctor in Kettle Springs, they moved there to start over. Cole feels sorry for her and admits that his younger sister also died last summer, drowning in an accident. Later that night, Quinn is at home watching the prank video the group made earlier.
What the fuck?
She quickly takes a screenshot and sends it to the group chat. Tucker checks it just as he gets a doorbell camera alert on his phone. It shows someone in a Friendo mask standing right outside his house, but he assumes it's just Cole messing with him. Tucker grabs a Nerf gun and searches the house, finding only muddy footprints. When he goes back to his room, he discovers a vape and music box hidden in his closet. The scene jumps to the Founders' Day festival, where the entire town has gathered. Cole's father, Mayor Arthur, gives a welcome speech, and the parade begins with loud music and cheering. Quinn meets up with Janet and Ronnie, asking if they figured out who the second clown might be. The girls guess it could be Rust, who used to be close friends with Cole. Just then, Cole himself arrives, and Janet hints that they're about to film something wild.
My shoulders.
The whole crowd panics in chaos. Cole, Janet, Ronnie, and Quinn try to escape, but Sheriff Dunn stops them. He accuses the teens of starting the fire and has them arrested. Despite their protests, he throws them into a cell where an old man chillingly warns them not to mess with Friendo, or they will die. The next day, the teens are released and sent home. The focus then shifts to Matt, who is working out in his garage.
Check this out, Tucker. Wherever you went. What? Tucker, you asshole, man.
Friendo killed him brutally. That night, Quinn gets a text from Cole inviting her to a party. She sneaks downstairs and sees her dad asleep on the couch, giving her the chance to quietly slip out. Cole picks her up in his car and gives her a gift, a bait and music box. As she plays it, they suddenly spot Rust, who has just hunted a deer. Cole has a short, awkward exchange with him before driving away.
So what do I gotta do to see some of these dance moves?
Look, all I'm saying is don't challenge me to a dance-off.
They meet Janet and Ronnie, who are annoyed that Tucker and Matt still haven't shown up. They assume the two are planning some over-the-top prank. After some dancing, Cole and Quinn sneak off to a shed. But when Cole shows little interest, Quinn feels embarrassed and leaves. Just then, a girl stumbles out of the cornfield with an arrow stuck in her back, screaming in pain.
Hey, Ginger! You okay?
Janet and Ronnie think it's another prank and move to check. Suddenly, a severed head wearing a Friendo mask is thrown at Janet. When a mask is pulled off, they realize in horror that it's Matt's head. Quinn panics, but Janet still insists it's all part of a joke until Quinn checks the girl's pulse and confirms she's dead. Terror spreads through the group.
Around the back!
Duck!
Thank you.
Where's Cole?
I don't know, I was just with him. Did anybody call 911?
Holy fucking shit! That's a lot of friendos!
The clowns charge forward, ready to attack. Rust quickly fires his shotgun, blasting one of them and tearing his hand apart. At the same time, another friend lunges straight at Quinn, but Cole appears just in time and knocks him out with a heavy iron bar. With no choice, the group runs as a swarm of masked killers chases them into the barn. Meanwhile, Quinn's father, Glenn, wakes up and realizes she has snuck out of the house. Back at the barn, Rust quickly fires 2 of his last 3 bullets to kill him.
Those clowns taking us!
Ronnie, we're safe for now. It's a steel door.
Cole yells at him for wasting ammo, but Rust suddenly accuses Cole of abandoning him. The girls are shocked as they realize the 2 boys had once been in love. Inside the shed, the group notices a sewer grate they could use to escape. Rust suggests they pour gasoline to set a fire and distract the killers. Elsewhere, Glenn searches frantically for his daughter. Passing by his clinic, he sees it has been broken into. As soon as he steps inside, a friendo jumps out and presses a knife to his throat. The clown forces him to treat his injured friend and warns that if Glenn refuses, his daughter will be killed. Back at the shed, the friendos finally break in. But when Russ doesn't appear, Cole insists on going back for him. The girls, however, convince him to head to the Tillersons' house instead, where they can use a landline to call for help. The teens push through the cornfield until they reach the main road, where they see a car approaching. To their relief, it's Sheriff Dunn. But instead of helping, the sheriff grows furious at the sight of the bloody teens carrying a gun. He immediately arrests Cole, ignoring the group's desperate claims that clowns attacked them. Without listening, the sheriff drives off with Cole. With no choice, the girls head back through the rows of corn, hoping to reach the Tillersons' house. But soon, a friendo wielding a chainsaw appears and charges after them. They run in terror, but Ronnie is caught. Shaken, they eventually reach the Tillersons' home. Inside, they're startled to see a dead friendo slumped in the living room. Searching the house, they find a rotary phone, but realize they don't know how to use it. Their fear deepens when they notice a bulletin board covered with photos of them along with old newspaper clippings about murdered teenagers over the years. On the table sits another vape and music box, confirming it's a trap.
We gotta get out of here.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Overwhelmed with guilt and grief, Quinn grabs a car key and flees the house. Meanwhile, at the clinic, Glenn tricks the friendos guarding him. He disconnects the cardiac monitor from the injured man, then pretends to panic, urging another clown to use the defibrillator. When the distracted friendo drops his knife, Glenn seizes the chance and plunges the blade into his neck, killing him. After the injured man dies, Glenn grabs his walkie-talkie and hears a chilling order. The girl must be taken to the Bapine factory. Quinn manages to get into a car and tries to escape, but she quickly realizes she can't drive it since it's a stick shift. Before she can even figure it out, a group of friendos surrounds her, drags her out, and takes her away.
Please just let me go.
No. It's way too late for that, Toots.
But I didn't do anything.
She demands to know who they are. One by one, they remove their masks, revealing people she knows: Sheriff Dunn, the diner owner, the waitress, even her teacher, Mr. Verne. But the biggest shock comes when the leader steps forward. It's the mayor himself, Arthur. He calmly explains that what's happening is an old tradition in Kettle Springs, dating back to the early 1900s. The townsfolk put on friendo masks and hunt down teenagers they believe are corrupting the community. To prove his point, Arthur pulls back a curtain.
That needs to be called.
Oh, call her.
It was on his watch.
She drowned.
Horrified,
everything.
Quinn asks how he could do that to his own son. Arthur coldly replies that Cole is no longer his child, blaming him for his sister's drowning death. As the mayor finishes, Sheriff Dunn raises his gun to shoot Quinn. But before he can fire, Glenn crashes into the factory with his car, throwing everything into chaos. One friendo's head is crushed under a cinder block, while the waitress is gruesomely impaled on a pipe. Glenn rushes to cut Cole down, but Sheriff Dunn shoots him, sending him crashing to the floor. Quinn, panicked and desperate, locks herself inside a nearby room. Inside, she finds rows of friendo costumes and mannequins. Sheriff Dunn bursts in after her.
You got that.
Meanwhile, Cole dangles dangerously.
You are too dumb to be my son. You tell people what they want to believe, and you could get away with murder.
Arthur smirks, then jumps into Glenn's car and speeds off, leaving his son hanging by the neck. An injured Glenn stumbles forward, desperately trying to hold Cole up, but his strength is fading. Russ suddenly appears. He raises a shotgun and blasts the rope apart, freeing Cole. The two boys finally embrace. At that moment, Quinn rushes in. The four survivors pile into Glenn's car.
Quick, get in.
Next shift, Dad. I can't do it.
You got this. There you go. You're doing it.
Yeah, nice job, Glenn.
Guys, we got a problem.
Fucking punch it.
A year later, Quinn packs her bags for college while Glenn campaigns fiercely to become Kettle Springs' next mayor. Rust and Cole arrive to see her off.
It's a 16-inch collapsible self-defense baton. I love you guys. You be safe, okay? Love you, bye!
And while it's packed with cornfield chaos, masked killers, and shocking twists, Clown in a Cornfield leaves us with a story about survival, the dangers of blind tradition, and the terrifying cost of ignoring the darkness lurking in small-town secrets. But Clown in a Cornfield isn't just about creepy clowns and cornfield chaos. Beneath the cornfield chaos lies a deeper reflection. The killer isn't just there to slash teens. He's the town's twisted symbol of tradition fighting back against change, punishing anyone who steps out of line. Violence becomes a way to enforce moral rules, a scary reminder that rebellion can come at a deadly price. And behind those friendo masks, the real faces of small-town hypocrisy and authority, hiding cruelty behind smile. At its core, the movie's about generational clash. The old guard clings to ritual and fear, while the kids are just trying to survive and be free. So yeah, it's a slasher, but it's also a story about control, fear, and what happens when tradition turns toxic. Flick fact number 1. The filmmakers took inspiration from classic horror and real small-town dynamics to show how a community can weaponize fear and turn a mascot into a nightmare. Clown in a Cornfield hits all the right notes. Tension, over-the-top horror, and just enough dark humor to keep you glued to the screen. But this isn't just a body count. It's a mirror held up to America's small towns, showing how fear of change can be deadly, and how tradition can hide behind a mask of authority. Flick favorites would absolutely recommend seeing it in theaters, popcorn in hand, bracing for every jump scare, cornfield chase, and jaw-dropping twist. On the Flick verdict scale, this is a must-watch, a sharp, bloody slasher. If you like your horror masked with tradition, this one delivers. Bottom line, behind the masks, behind the corn, it's not just friendo you should fear. Sometimes it's the town itself. Flick fact number 2. The novel this film is based on won the Bram Stoker Award for Young Adult Horror. Love slashers where the killer isn't the only monster in town. Go watch this one. Let me know in the comments. Imagine how you would survive a night in the cornfield. And hey, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and check out the rest of our Flick Favorites recaps for more twisted horror fun.